This shot right here looks easy, feels easy, and yet it is the shot players miss the most. If you have ever missed one and thought, how did I miss that? This video is made for you. My name is Adam, and in today's video I'm going to show you the 5 real reasons players miss long straight shots, along with a bunch of very useful tips, so by the end of this video straight shots will stop feeling scary. Here is what happens to almost every beginner and intermediate player. You line up perfectly, you feel confident, you stroke smoothly, and the ball says,
Not today.
This is the moment where you start thinking, my aim is bad, my stroke isn't straight, or maybe I just lack talent. The answer is no. You are missing because of predictable mechanical errors. And here is the truth. Straight shots expose every tiny flaw in your fundamentals. They are like a lie detector for your technique. Reason number 1. You are not actually aligned. Most players believe they miss straight shots because of bad aim. But here is the uncomfortable truth. You usually aim correctly, but you just don't stay on the aiming line. Let me explain. When you are standing right behind the shot, your eyes naturally see the correct line between the cue ball and the object ball. Everything looks perfect, but then comes the mistake. You step into the shot and you unknowingly move your body off the shot line. Sometimes half an inch, sometimes more, but on a 6-foot straight shot, that tiny error turns into a full miss. Most players build their stance first, then try to aim from inside it. But pros do the opposite. They build the stance around the line because the line is king. Your body is just supporting equipment. Here is the fix you should learn immediately. Stand directly behind the shot and visualize straight line between the cue ball and the object ball. Extend this line onto the floor and lock your eyes onto that line. Step your back foot straight onto that line first and freeze that foot, it becomes your anchor. Only then get into your stance. Your body never searches for aim, it simply drops into position. Try this right now at the table. Set up 5 long straight shots, and before each shot reset completely and rebuild your stance using the back foot on the line rule. Most players instantly pocket more balls without changing their stroke at all, because they finally started the shot correctly. Reason number 2. Your eyes switch targets. Now let's talk about something players argue about all the time. Where should you look last? The cue ball or the object ball? And here is the honest answer. There are 2 groups of great players and both are right. Many top players keep their final focus on the object ball. Why? Because direction matters most. Their brain locks onto the target and sends a clear message to the stroke. Deliver the cue straight toward that. These players rely on feel and natural stroke mechanics. You will often see smooth pace, relaxed delivery and confident acceleration. For many beginners and intermediates, this instantly improves accuracy. But here's what surprises people. Some elite players look at the cue ball last. And yes, world-class players do this. Why? Because they prioritize precise tip contact. They want absolute certainty about center ball hit, spin placement, and clean contact. Their thinking is, if I strike the cue ball perfectly, the shot goes in. And they are right too. So why we are missing? The problem isn't which method you use. The problem is switching between them during the stroke. Watch most amateurs closely. Practice strokes, looking alternately at the cue ball and the object ball. Final stroke, quick panic glance at the cue ball. Sometimes they switch again mid-delivery. Your brain receives conflicting information at the worst possible moment. You must choose one visual system per shot, not both. Here is how to decide quickly. If you have no problems hitting the cue ball at the center, but you miss left or right, try object ball last. However, if you miscue or struggle with tip accuracy, then try cue ball last. Neither is more correct. Consistency is what creates accuracy. Reason number 3. You are steering the cue. Now we get to the mistake almost nobody realizes they are making. And honestly, this is the reason many good players stay stuck for years. You are not missing because you aimed wrong. You are missing because you changed the stroke at the last second. You are steering the cue. You line up perfectly. Practice strokes look great. Everything feels solid. Then, right before impact, the brain jumps in and says,
Help the ball go in.
So the hand subtly twists, pushes, corrects, or guides the cue. You never feel it, but the cue leaves the line. And on long straight shots, that correction equals a miss by a mile. Your brain hates uncertainty. A long straight shot feels dangerous. So instead of trusting the stroke, your brain tries to aim during the hit. But here is the brutal truth. Pool is not an aiming game at contact. Pool is an execution game at contact. All aiming must already be finished. The stroke should be automatic. You should ask yourself, do straight shots feel harder than slide cuts? That's the giveaway. Because cuts allow margin. Straight shots expose steering instantly. So now we are going to remove steering from your hand. Yes, remove it. Do this step by step. Grip the cue lightly, about 3 out of 10 pressure. Let your forearm hang vertically like a pendulum. During the final stroke, imagine your arm is just swinging, not hitting. No wrist action. No finger squeeze at impact. Your arm swings. The cue delivers itself. Reason number 4. Your head moves. I want you to pay attention to this carefully, because this might be the fastest fix for your problems. And actually, almost nobody believes it until they try it. You are missing straight shots because your head moves before the stroke is finished. Not after, but before. Watch most players in slow motion. They get down on the shot, everything looks perfect. Then, right at the moment of impact, their head lifts. Sometimes less, sometimes more. But that tiny movement changes absolutely everything. Why? Because your head controls your entire body alignment. When the head moves, shoulders move, Grip compensates, cue changes direction. So here's the adjustment that changes players instantly. After you hit the cue ball, become a statue. No movement, no reaction, no looking up. Stay completely still until one of these happens. The object ball drops, or the cue ball stops rolling. Not when you think contact happened, but when the motion is completely finished. Of course, I'm not talking about small head movements right after the shot, because that happens naturally. However, the most important thing is not to allow the head to lift right before the shot. Watch professional matches carefully. You will notice something strange. Top players often look like they already know the ball is going in. They stay down calmly. They don't chase the shot with their eyes. Why? Because they trust the process more than the outcome. Still head equals stable stroke. Stable stroke equals predictable results. Reason number 5. You are hitting the ball too hard. Alright, let me tell you something that surprises almost every player I see. Most missed straight shots have nothing to do with aim. Try to find a difference between this shot and this shot. I missed because of speed. Most amateurs think this way. Long shot, so hit harder. But in pool, power practically always destroys precision. Every stroke has tiny imperfections. Even great players aren't perfectly straight.
Oh my goodness, Jerry. No pause at the cue ball.
But when you hit harder, small alignment errors grow, steering increases, cue deflection increases, and timing breaks down. Speed magnifies mistakes. And here's the thing, the harder you hit, the smaller the pocket effectively becomes. Most beginners and intermediates don't fully trust the pocket, so they try to force the ball in. They hit firm, just to be sure. But pockets don't reward force, they reward accuracy. And accuracy loves smooth speed. Here is a simple rule you should start using today. For long straight-in shots, shoot at about 60% speed. Not slow, not soft, just controlled. Imagine the cue ball rolling confidently, not being pushed. The object ball should fall into the pocket, not crashed into it. When speed is correct, the pocket accepts slight errors, the ball holds the line longer, and your stroke stays relaxed. Suddenly, straight shots stop rattling. Here is what I want you to do at your next practice session. Set up 10 long straight shots. Track makes versus misses. And apply today's checklist. Most players see immediate improvement within minutes. If you want structured drills that train this automatically, I have linked Pool Billiards CO in the description. It gives you ready-made professional drills, a powerful editor to build your own training patterns, and structured practice instead of random shooting. Use the link below and you will get 20% of premium membership. If you are serious about improving faster, this is one of the best tools available right now. If this video helped you stop missing straight shots, hit the like button and subscribe for more weekly pool knowledge. Which of those 5 mistakes were you making? Or maybe there is something I haven't mentioned that is bothering you. Share your opinion in the comments. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next video. Take care.